Hey guys, it's Romie Reviews here. So please like, comment, subscribe. Don't mind my voice. My allergies have been messed with me, and so still recovering from that. This is my review for Empire Season 4, Episode 10, Birds in the Cage. Now, I was happy how this episode went because I said if we have to go through a full season, the remainder of the season, and it being centered around who kidnapped Lucius, where is he type of mess, I was going to be pissed. As I said, that's not interesting. I was hoping they did what they actually did, so shout out to them for that. So the episode starts off with Jamal, of all people. They're bringing him out of jail. He's coming out of jail because he got in trouble. He hit someone. I said, Jamal? Little baby Jamal? Really? Okay. But Cookie doesn't care about that. She does, but she has to focus on the fact that Lucius is gone. He's gone. He sent her this text saying he needs some time to himself, and we're all looking at this like, dude, you're the last person right now that needs to be alone. Next thing we know, and she gets thirsty on it. So now Lucius, he wakes up. He's in the in the cabin in the woods. Jesus, he's in the cabin in the woods. And Claudia is there. Claudia has a dart gun. Claudia has all these other tricks and shows that she's going to use on it because she wants Dwight. She doesn't like Lucius. Lucius is dangerous. Lucius is violent. Lucius is a boss. And we need a boss right now because Empire is being taken up from under them. So we need a boss. We do. While all that mess is happening, we see Cookie having a flashback. And it's to when, remember Pound Cake? I called the girl Cupcake, but Pound Cake, she was the one that was raped by the guard, and so they delivered the baby, but the guard put the baby into foster care, and so Cookie had a plan. They were going to go mess him up real bad. Cookie hit a razor, I should say, and they were ready to go. Pound Cake was supposed to distract him. Pound Cake betrayed Cookie, and Cookie got thrown into the hole. Mind you, they were kicking Cookie. They were kicking our Cookie, and I said, no good gonna come to you. No good. Anyway. Thirsty, he realizes that, something's not right here. So he started to go backwards and see where was Lucius. Where the last events that occurred up until him being gone. Lucius went to the hospital. Now, while he was at the hospital, we see a camera with Claudia. Claudia had a wheelchair. So now the wheels are spinning like, wait a minute, maybe he reverted back and but we have to figure out where she is. So now they're at least have some steam. Claudia, oh, she's such trash. Like I said, her whole mantra is she loves Lucius. She loves Dwight. She wants Dwight. Dwight is dead. Dwight is gone. Come on now. And it's so funny because, Tori Ash, that's Rumor Willis. I'm just looking at Rumor like, Rumor, get your mother. Because your mother, she's about to go and get clipped if she doesn't watch what she does. Now, while Tori goes and performs, I said, okay, this is cool enough. I'm not really paying it. I don't really care. Hakeem comes out, I'm like, I still don't care. What mattered in that scene was Becky. So Becky, she had to pee. Becky was trying to figure out where Lucius was because this is a disaster. Andre, he's in rehab, for physical therapy. Oh, no, because of the drugs that they had him on. Jamal is getting into fights. Hakeem with the baby mama drama. And so, actually, Hakeem of all three is the most stable right now, which is astonishing. So I guess shout out to him because that is a plus. Now, Becky had to pee. Portia's looking at her like, something's not right here. Thirsty does his job. And it's funny because Thirsty, he tracks down. So this is Claudia's confidant. This is the woman that Claudia talks to whenever she needs to let go and release. We see Claudia going and telling Lucius, that I have a regular gun for you, and I have a stun gun. So depending on what you do, things could get very, very dicey very quickly. Don't try me. But we find out that Claudia's cuckoo. cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. This is beyond single white female type. She's actually gets attached to her clients to the point where where boundaries have to be reset. And when I say boundaries, I mean she has to be fired. She had a sports, her last major client where she did this was with this this star. He played sports. What ended up happening is that she got so attached to him, she was planning to bring him into this cabin in upstate New York, and so that they could have one-on-one time. The wife said, Cookie said, I told you. I said, Queen, you're right. We know. Jamal, he's having trouble. He's having trouble because he wants people to leave him alone. He doesn't understand why people don't get the fact that he killed Angelo. And he's not proud of that. He's not a killer. He's not the violent type. So him doing something like that is huge, and not in a good way. It makes him emotionally unstable. His feelings are hurt. He just feels like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. I'm saying, Jamal, stop it. You're grown. You're a grown man. You clipped someone. It was either you or them. But we'll get into that a little bit later. I do appreciate the moment that when Portia went into the bathroom to check up on Becky, she saw the pregnancy test, and then Becky was like, yeah, but it can't be right. And Portia said, well, it's 99.9. I said, Portia, stop it. But I'm glad that Portia's there for her. It was funny that I was thinking the same thing that Becky said. I was like, you just peed on a stick, didn't you? You didn't wash your hands yet, did you? Portia said, don't worry about it. I didn't wash mine either. I said, Portia, you nasty. You nasty! Anyway. Lucius he's doing some great acting. I said, okay, now I see it. Because he's playing that piano. He's making Claudia feel like, look, I'm back. I'm so sorry. I'm back though. I was just confused. Things were so crazy. Really? Next thing we know, while he's holding her, he starts choking her out. And normally, I'm not here for the man on woman violence, but with this, I'll make an exception. I said, oh, I know this isn't going to turn out well, but for these moments, this chick is crazy. And we know that Lucius is the type to do something like that anyway. So with Cookie, because we know Cookie is the aggressor in that relationship. That's why we love her. But Claudia, she gets away, and then she does this weird psychological mess where, and I knew exactly what it was. I don't know the name of it, but I knew what it was as soon as she did it. It was lights, and then it was a compilation of all of his songs playing through these speakers, blasting at him, layered on top of each other, because she gave him drugs that make him more susceptible to auditory and visual cognitive attacks. Shout out to my psychology classes. Anyway, so while she's doing that to Lucius, and part of me is thinking, Lucius, you've been trashed for a while, so you do deserve this. But I'm just like, dang, that's why you have to do right, because you never know how the wrong's gonna come back on you. Now, Cookie, she's driving. Thirsty gives her the directions as far as where to go. Thirsty's like, what are you doing? We back up. We don't have time. So Cookie's on her own. She has to go. Now we see Cookie back in jail again, and how that evil guard, he goes and gives her this this magazine that has Lucius in it. But Lucius is with some other celebrity. And so Cookie, that doesn't break her because she's the boss, even though she's been in solitary confinement for I don't know how long. Pound Cake comes and essentially says, look, my sentence can be reduced. I could possibly leave, but now it's only dependent on if I had nothing to do with what happened as far as that attack that you did. You got me? And Cookie is such a queen. She's just like, yeah, you a punk. You wouldn't dare go against him. I said, oh my God, Cookie, I love you. Cookie. Even when people do her wrong, she is there. That is beyond a writer. So now now it's time to visit the brothers visit Andre, and it's supposed to be Andre's time, but here goes Jamal. And I said, oh my God, Jamal, get my damn nerves. But I understand why. Jamal's crying. He was bugging out because it was like, why people keep saying that I do what I had to do? I want to do something like that. I'm thinking, okay, but it happened. So you're just gonna have to get over it. And I know that's wrong. I know it's wrong. But it's just funny. Out of all the people that could have been the killers, Jamal was the one that ended up pulling the trigger. That's interesting. That's interesting. So we have the tempered bratty Hakeem, young Hakeem. We have the controlled but always slightly ready to pop off if his meds aren't calibrated Andre. And that's not a joke. These are just facts. And then we have sensitive, emotional, caring Jamal, artsy Jamal. So I'm glad that they were there to support him, but I'm thinking, Jamal, you better get it together because I don't have time for this. I don't have time for this. Now Cookie comes up to the woods, and it was interesting. I was a little surprised that Cookie was invited into the cabin, but Claudia said, you better go and play nice. Claudia had a weapon behind her, and so Lucius realized that and wanted to make sure that Cookie got a message, but Cookie was upset. So Cookie was just like, wait a minute, so you come up here going to scare me, trying to figure out where you are, we have business to conduct it, we don't have time for any of this mess. And so Lucius was just like, look, I'm here with her because I had laps, I just have a lot of stuff to work on, I have a lot of things to do. And he started playing his beat, and I said, that sounds familiar. And I couldn't figure out why it sounded familiar, but it sounds so familiar. And he was just like, Cookie, just listen. I'm thinking, I know what you're doing, but come on now. And I thought Cookie realized it when she was in the cabin, but she did not. She did not realize Lucius was giving her a message by playing that song. And what ended up happening is while Cookie was driving back, she started to remember that song because Lucius said, oh, he's coming up with something new. It's his, and it's new. So Cookie's mind started racing because when she was in jail, she always talked about how family was the only thing that kept her together. Family was the only thing that kept her alive. And she wrote a song. Remember, it was that song that helped change Lucius's trajectory on that album because it wasn't just hard. It was something soft. It was something personal. And like I said, Cookie was the one who actually wrote the song. So when she listened to the melody again in her head, and when Jamal played it in the reverbed version of it, she realized, oh my gosh, I have to do something. Now the problem is she's out in she's out there in the woods up there in upstate New York, and I can tell you from experience that cell phone reception is iffy. It doesn't matter what carrier you have, it can be iffy in a lot of areas. So she doesn't have time to get back up. But what she does have time to do is remember her what saved her in jail. So she goes and she gets a razor. And I said, uh-oh, okay, so we're about to cut Claudia. Good! We're about to cut Claudia. But I thought the conversation between Becky and Portia was really important because Becky talked about how all the girls on her block, they would get pregnant, and she always thought that was stupid. They were dumb. Their lives are changed forever. And so for it to happen to her, it was just like, well, it only takes one time. And I get the message that they were trying to promote there because that gets missed a lot. Because Becky tried to make it seem like, oh, we only had sex once. Portia said, oh, once? Well, once is more than enough. And then she said, well, maybe 6 times. Maybe 8. I said, Becky. So Becky doesn't know what she's going to do right now. Claudia wants Dwight back. Lucius is just like, you a crazy bee, and I don't give up bleep. Cookie is gone, and she's not coming back. And Regardless of what you say or what you do, I refuse. I refuse to just do what you say. I said, okay, cool enough. But as she was starting to try and torture Lucius again with the audio and visual stimulants, the lights went out. So she thought she overloaded the breaker system. And I'm thinking, oh, you're slow. You're slow. So now we see Cookie. Cookie, she is, wandering through this cabin in the dark. And next thing we know, she gets hit. And I'm like, oh, you're going to die now. You're going to die now, Claudia. You're not making this out alive, Claudia. You're not making this out alive. And Cookie was, so then there was a flashback of Cookie in jail. And the thing about her being in jail in that flashback, the reason why it was so important was because she got taken out of solitary confinement. And the guards were bringing her back to her cell. But then she fell because she couldn't walk. And they were actually going to, pick her up, but it was demeaning. So all of her girls, except for Pound Cake, because Pound Cake knew what she did, were cheering her on like, yeah, you better get up. Yeah, that's right. Get up. One foot after the other. Yeah. Straighten up your back. Come on, let's go. And I was so proud of her because she did not give up. That is the Cookie that we know and love. And then she wakes up. So now she's tied up to this desk. And I said, wow, Claudia's kind of crafty. What's going on here? And while that's going on, Claudia essentially threatens Cookie again and says, you know what? This time, you're pretty much dead. Not pretty much. You're dead. You came here. You shouldn't have come back. And that's that. But things take a weird turn. Hold on. So things take a weird turn because while Cookie and Lucius were tied up, and I'm telling you, it was weird. Claudia started to bait them, and they fell for it because it was kind of the whole thing. If you came back for him, even though he left you in jail, and Lucius was like, I didn't leave her in jail. Claudia said, no. And Cookie said, you did it? You did it? You didn't abandon me? Lucius said, do you know how hard it was for me to go and see the love of my life, my wife, be, having marks and looking crazy in jail and knowing that there's nothing I could do about it? And I said, I get it. This is a real argument that people have, and this is the other perspective. And I thought that this was really good perspective because we're seeing this from a woman who was incarcerated and how her family life continued and how she was abandoned versus if it was Lucius that was in jail, Cookie would be in that jail every single time there's visitation, bring all the kids. You already know. So just the parallels alone is crazy. And so Cookie was saying, no. Here's what actually happened. You went, divorced me while I was in jail. You didn't come to see me. Not only did you not come to see me, it got worse because you had the audacity to go and figure out that, oh, the company is yours. The company is yours. The kids are yours. He said, do you know how hard it is to go and raise 3 boys as well as establish the company? Do you? Because I had to do it. And she said, you got to do it out here. Free. You had options. I did 17 years. And you know what happened when I came out 17 years? Because Claudia was being here like, well, when you came out of jail, was he there? No, not only was he not there, I had to come back and try to scrap for a company that should have rightfully been 50-50 mine. But instead, you went and fought me every turn. No, not only that, you had our sons go and fight for the company when it really should have been partially mine, and you want me to go and just say, oh, all this stuff happens to you, I forgive you? Forgive you? All the foolishness? Monkey, my cousin. You had my sisters out here that could help and support you. You had Monkey that would do anything for you. And so Claudia's looking at this like, wait a minute. Are you talking about killing people? People dying around them? So it's like, and so then Lucius said, well, let's go to the present. What about you and Angelo? You bringing Angelo into the family, cause all these problems. Like, I didn't know that was going to happen. Everything that I was doing at the end of the day was for the family. That was the one time I was trying to do something for myself. Yeah, it backfired. But let's be very clear. What about all the other women that you had running up and down to your place? And they were just talking about this person dying, this person dying. Claudia's looking at them like, what did I sign myself up for? Because then Claudia started to have a little break because Cookie said, you trash. Lucius, you trash. You're selfish, that and that. But I will fight for this family always and forever. I will always fight for my family. And I get it. That's something that you don't understand, but you don't have to, because I do. And I appreciate that. She was like, Lucius may be cool for Cocoa Puffs, but that's her man. I said, that's kind of sad, but hey, she likes to fight. Let's be real, Cookie likes to fight. Because Cookie at one point was also saying, so my father died because you wanted to go and be with, I remember more of it now. Because they got deep. They got deep. Everything that they wanted to say to each other for years finally came out. It was how my father died because I went inside with you, got pregnant by you. He was just like, well, and you went scared off Barry, which was her boyfriend at the time. And he said, wait a minute. You saw me making moves. You saw me out here about to blow up. And so you hitched onto my coattails. Then you got pregnant. And so what? Now I'm really there. Now you want me to marry? Now you say I love you? And I said, wow, hold on. You're supposed to be fighting her. What are you guys doing? Anyway, Claudia, she starts having a mental fit and realizes, you know what? I thought that was going to work, but you two still came together, so you're going to have to die. So then Cookie was like, kill me. Do it now. At this point, I don't care. I don't care. Just as she was about to, there was a car that pulled up, and it was Claudia's friend. So Claudia went outside, and Lucius was trying to get her attention by banging on the window and yelling. Excuse me. Cookie said, you don't have to do that. We have options. So she went into that wig, pulled out that razor, and then Claudia goes, because the friend's like, what are you doing? This is crazy. Is Lucius in there? Claudia goes, hits her friend, knocks her out. I thought she was going to chop her head off. I said, oh, okay. So we're not doing that today? All right, cool beans. Cookie's now gone. When Claudia comes back in, Lucius is still chained up. So Claudia has the axe. Cookie goes out swinging. I said, that's right. Swing. Cookie, swing. 17 years of jail. Come on. I know she's crazy, but you got it. She's such a punk. Then Claudia goes, whips out a taser, tasers Cookie multiple times. She said, damn, are you the police? Like, how many times? And so then she was about to kill Cookie, but Lucius, he finally used his prosthetic metal leg to break one of the legs off of the, what is that called? Piano, which freed him. Which meant that now he could go and kill Claudia. I said, do it. Cookie said, do it. Do it, Lucius. What are you doing? So then Lucius was just like, no. And so I know some people are going to say, well, maybe he did because he still felt a certain way about her. And it was like, yeah, he did. But it was more so about not proving the colonizer right. Because that was a colonizer right there. Right there. Right there. Absolutely. So Cookie said, oh, okay. Shout out to you for growing or whatever. But the episode ends off with Andre remembering what he did to his father. And so, with trying to blow him up. And so Andre wakes up in the scare. It's like, oh, I have to tell him. I said, oh, God, if you tell him, he's going to beat your butt. Oh, my gosh. But Empire came back. It came back in a good way. So I'm back in. I was, for a moment, I was like, okay, I'm back in. Hopefully my voice will be better for next week. And the green screen, I have it. I'll have it set up next time. The video will be up that same night, so Wednesday night. And yeah, please like, comment, subscribe if this is your first time watching. Thanks.